Okay, we're going to continue on in our Father's Word today. This is the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 15. Then when Jesus came, scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do the disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father and thy mother. And he that curses father or mother, let him die the death. But we say, Whoever shall say to his father or mother, It is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profit by me, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition. Ye hypocrites, well did Elias prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. And he called the multitude, and said unto them, Hear and understand, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. Then came his disciples, and said unto him, Knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended when they heard this saying? But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be uprooted up. And let them alone. They will blind leaders. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Declare unto us this parable. And Jesus said, Are ye also yet without understanding? Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth, going into the belly, is cast out into the draught? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceedeth evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, and blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man. But eat with unwashed hands does not defileth a man. Then Jesus went thence, and departed unto the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast, and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. And Jesus departed from thence, and came nigh unto the Sea of Galilee, and went up into a mountain, and sat down there. And a great multitudes came unto him, having with them those that were lame, blind, dumb, maimed, and many others, and cast them down at Jesus' feet. And he healed them, insomuch that the multitude wondered, when they saw the dumb to speak, the maimed to be whole, the lame to walk, and the blind to see. and they glorified the God of Israel. Then Jesus called his disciples unto him, and said, I have compassion on the multitudes, because they continue with me now 3 days and have nothing to eat. And I will not send them away fasting, lest they faint in the way. And his disciples say to him, Whence should we have so much bread in the wilderness as to fill a great multitude? And Jesus saith unto them, How many loaves have we? And they said, 7, and a few little fishes. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves and the fishes, and gave thanks, and brake them, and gave to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat, and were filled. And they took up the broken meat that was left, 7 baskets full. And they that did eat were 4,000 men, besides women and children. And he sent away the multitude, and took ship, and came into the coast of Magdala. Now this is Matthew chapter 16. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting, desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. And he answered and said unto them, When it is evening, ye say, It will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and low ring. O you hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but cannot ye not discern the signs of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation, seeking after a sign, and there shall be no sign given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them, and departed. And when his disciples were come to the other side, they had forgotten to take bread. And then Jesus said unto them, Take heed, and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Now leaven is a symbol of sin. Unleavened bread is therefore sin-free bread. The Passover feast, the feast of unleavened bread. Now wine, this is the old submariner's trick. Take some Welch's grape juice, take the cap off of it, and let it stay in a warm spot for 3 or 4 days, and it'll turn into wine. You know why? Because that grape juice is full of leaven and sugar. And with sugar and leaven and fruit juice, you make wine, because it turns into wine as soon as you don't refrigerate it. So therefore wine, when you look at a clear bottle of wine, you look down at the bottom of it after that yeast has worked. Down in the bottom you see some white stuff floating around. That's called the dregs. That's the dead yeast. After fermentation, the yeast die and fall to the bottom of the wine, and you skim the good wine off the top. So wine is sin-free grape juice. That's why in Matthew 26:26, Jesus tells his disciples in the upper room to drink wine and eat unleavened bread to follow him, to remember him. Why? Because when you allow Christ into your heart, Jesus' message for communion is that when you take unleavened bread, sin-free bread, you should try to sin less once you let Christ into your heart. You shouldn't try to sin more. Whenever you use grape juice and risen bread, that's what the preacher's telling you, to try to sin more. But Jesus' message was to use wine and unleavened bread to remember him. Leaven is the symbol of sin. So, you don't want to use risen bread and grape juice for communion, because that's telling the wrong message. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, It is because we have taken no bread.